Now, Scrum benefits. I will go speedily with the benefits. More business value delivered sooner. So it is easily understandable. Delivered sooner, because at every regular interval there will be a shippable product, releasable product, some functionality of the product, so that it can be valued by the customer. Better ROI, better visibility to team, customer and management, because all is involved throughout the project. Improved productivity, people and process, less waste, lean mindset, higher quality, because at every iteration or sprint there is an inspect and adapt. Strong team. Now this is another good point of Scrum, because now the layer of resources, like someone is good at database, someone is good at middleware, someone is good at UI. So this does not happen in actually Scrum. All the team members are responsible for all the layers. So more focused, more decisive and self-managed. Better morale across the whole team. Engineering processes improved significantly. The critical features built at the quickest time at the minimum cost. This is what the advantage of or the benefit of Scrum. Now if we look at the challenges of Scrum, it's hard. It's hard because most of the because the Scrum is evolving right now, and people are adapting Scrum, so it's hard. They are familiar with the other PM methodologies and they have to adapt Scrum, and it's hard. It's hard because it needs proper training, mentoring and understanding. It is must for each and every stakeholder, including the team member. It requires significant change across your project environment. It makes all dysfunction visible. Now this is very dangerous point. It makes all dysfunction visible. The reason is that in normal waterfall model or other long-term models, it's normally a 3 month, 6 month or 1 year duration. The dysfunctions disclose near the end. But in Scrum, there is a regular release every 2 weeks or 4 weeks, makes dysfunction visible faster. Scrum doesn't fix anything. Now this is another point. Scrum doesn't fix. The team has to fix the dysfunctions. And sometimes it's really horrible. You may see things you don't want to see. And it comes very fast in front of you because it's very transparent. So it demands, this is the reason it demands honesty and transparency. And this is another, you can say, a good point also. Bad products will deliver sooner, so there will be less loss. And doomed project will fail faster. Again, this is good if you see. Otherwise, in waterfall model, you will come near the end of the project. You will come to know that now this fails, and lot of investment has already been done. So in Scrum, doomed project will fail faster, so you may save a lot of money out of it. So you can say it's an advantage as well. But it is bad because management thinks that Scrum failed. Partial adoption may be worse than none at all. So don't go for partial adoption of Scrum. Either adapt it fully or do not adapt it. Be forewarned, many Scrum adoption fails, and there can be reasons. The reason is not the Scrum normally, it's the implementation that is not done properly. Have a look at this slide. I will explain in a short while. I am taking a case study for project X. Sprint considerations are 2 weeks sprint, 2 weeks iteration. Sprint starts on Thursday. Planning meeting on Thursday morning. Sprint ends on second Wednesday morning with sprint review and retrospective meeting. Product owner makes sprint backlog ready for review by the second Tuesday EOD. Second Friday is the deadline for development work. Release happens every sprint iteration on first Friday of the previous iteration. Just go through these things. I will repeat them again in the diagram. Have a look at this. Now this is a 2-week sprint. It starts on Thursday and it ends on Wednesday, second Wednesday. So this is 2 weeks. Planning meeting on Thursday morning. Planning meeting on Thursday morning, where the development team gives commitment, how much work they can take in this sprint. Sprint ends on second Wednesday morning with review, retrospective meetings. Now, there are two things I have shown in red colored and blue color. This blue color represents that this is the work of previous iteration, where this is the work of next iteration. That is in red. Product owner makes sprint backlog ready for review for the team by the second Tuesday EOD. So this is that point where product owner makes the sprint ready, next sprint ready for team review, Tuesday EOD. So this is the work of the next iteration that team has to do. That is the estimation of with the backlog refinement meeting. Backlog refinement is for the priority of the work that needs to be adjusted. So this is the work that team has to do after the review and retrospective meeting, and based on this, the planning meeting will happen on the first Thursday, that is after the last Wednesday of previous. I think this is understandable. Second Friday is deadline for the development work. See, this is the last development task. After that, there is only bug fixing. Release happens every sprint iteration on the first Friday of the previous iteration. So this is the release date for the previous iteration, where on the first day of current iteration, QA will attend the planning meeting, but the remaining time for the release plan of the previous sprint and the next day is for the release of the previous sprint. Now, look at these two Fridays. They are selected intelligently because there is always 2 days gap between Friday and Monday. If something goes wrong with the release, we will have a cushion of 2 days. If something is delayed in development, we will have cushion of 2 days over here. So, I am not saying that this will match with your Scrum. Every Scrum with every project has to be different because the environment is different. So, this is a case study that I am taking to explain the collimating of Scrum. So I think this is understandable by everyone in the room. Planning meeting goes here. Team will do the task breakup and will start development work. Development work, there can be many stories. If there are 10 resources, there can be 15 stories to work on. Developer will do the development work and send QA request as this story finishes. What QA will do after the release, they will start preparing test cases, start testing and filing bugs. Friday is the deadline. So from Monday and Tuesday only bug fixing is the task that developer will have. And testing, and after testing, if the testing is complete, regression can be done by the QA. And then on Wednesday there will be a presentation meeting. QA will, if QA is giving the presentation, they will prepare for the presentation for the review meeting and attend the retrospective meeting. Now, I have highlighted these 3 days here, these 3 days here. As far as initial look, this seems good. But while working in this project, I realized that we have a QA bandwidth in these 3 days. Because there is no story at QA for testing, they just needs to prepare the test cases and get it reviewed by the product. So this is although less free because they start preparing test cases, but if the test cases is prepared in a day, they will have this complete bandwidth free. Even this day also. So in some of this sprint, I find that almost you can say the QA team is actually having bandwidth because there is only 20 to 30% stories in QA, and that is too on the Wednesday. Now look at the development side. QA request, QA request, QA request, QA request. So this is basically, if you see, most of these stories will be in QA on Thursday and Friday, around 70% of all these stories, out of which 40% will be in QA on Thursday. So if you see, we have development bandwidth over here free. All those developers submitted their stories for QA will just do bug fixing, and if the implementation is good, your development team is good, you will be having very less bug, and normally Monday and Tuesday, development team will have lot of bandwidth free. Right? So these you can say are the challenges in the Project X, where the Scrum Master or Project Manager can easily find out that these are the days where QA resources are having bandwidth, and these are the days where development resources are having the bandwidth. So what is the solution? Another point, if you see, there are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days, and this Monday and Tuesday. the second Monday and Tuesday. Developers are having only one task. One task, not the sprint task. Task to do work. One type of work only. How? Only the development work. When it finishes, send the QA request. Development work, when it finishes, send the QA request. And bug fixing. And if the work is complete in half of the day, the remaining half will be free. So there are possibilities of, again, bandwidth available. Similar things will happen in QA. If you see, testing, preparing test cases, testing. So these are the days. Basically, if you say this is out of that maybe, but we already completed. Normally QA already complete most of the test cases by 2 days. So this is again free. And if testing completes in half of the day for a story, and he is not having another story on QA, again there is a free bandwidth. So having just one type of work on a day can also be a reason for free bandwidth. Let's have a look at the solution. So these are the challenges I have already discussed with you. Approximately 70% stories comes to QA on second Thursday and Friday. Makes QA having spare time on first Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So this, all these points I have already discussed. Now this is one point, very less time for story requirement analysis and estimation increases risk on second Wednesday. So if you see, this is the most busy day for the teams. And very less time for the estimation because it needs analysis also. For proper estimation, one has to do proper analysis, and there is a review and retrospective meeting also. Now,